That is, what are the network layer service models, and forwarding and versus routing. These are the two main things that are take place inside the router, forwarding and routing. And then we will see how a router works. Finally, what are the various routing algorithms? Routing nothing but path collection from source to destination. So these are the important things we are going to discuss as part of this unit 4. So introduction, then virtual circuit versus datagram networks. These are the two networks that comes under this network layer. Then what's inside a router. Then next Internet protocol. What datagram format, IPv4 addressing. IPv4 addressing we have seen in our laboratory. Then ICMP. Finally, IPv6 we are going to see. Lastly, we are going to discuss what are the various routing algorithms, link state routing algorithms, distance vector, finally hierarchical routing algorithms. If you look at the network layer, as we have seen many times, this is transport segment from sending to receiving host. That is node to node delivery. Transport layer is process to process delivery. Are you able to hear my voice, ma? Please respond through chat box.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you, ma'am. So here, so at the sending side, it encapsulates segments into datagrams. So the segments are coming from transport layer. The segments are encapsulated into datagrams at the sending side. On the other side, at the receiving side, deliver the segments to the transport layer. So at the sending side, the data is coming from transport layer to network layer. At the receiving side, the segments are handed over to the transport layer. So there are network layer protocols in every router as well as host device. So every host device as well as router device consists of network layer protocols. The routing examines header fields in all IP datagrams passing through it. Whenever the datagrams are passing through the router, it examines all the header fields that are present in the all IP datagrams, Internet Protocol datagrams. Look at here between one device and another device, the data is passed through all these different nodes. So every, as I told you, every host as well as router must have these network layer protocols. That's why you can look at here, in every component it consists of network layer. That may be a router or a host device. You can look at here how the data is passing from, in this scenario, from client to server. So every node present in the network, it may be a host or a router, it consists of network layer protocols. You can observe the scenario here. The data is coming from client to server while passing through many nodes in the network. So there are two key responsibilities of a network layer. One is forwarding, second one is routing. Forwarding is not completely technical, simply it moves packets router inputs to router output. From router's input to appropriate router output. While coming to routing, it determines the route of the packets from source to destination. So it specifies the entire route between source and destination, that is specified by routing. But forwarding is simply which input is connected to which router output. So for routing, we are going to study various routing algorithms. If you look at the analogy, the routing is nothing but process of planning trip from source to destination. But forwarding is process of getting through single interchange. That is nothing but forwarding. If you look at the interplay between routing and forwarding, so initially routing algorithms, then local forwarding table, header value and output link. Based on the header value, the router has to decide to which output port the data is forwarded. If you look at in this scenario, this is one header value address 0311. The 0311 packet is handed over to the output link 2. Output link 2. Look at in this scenario. Value in arriving packet header is 0311. If it is 0311, that is hand over to the output port 2 or output link 2. Here this packet is hand over to output link 2. That is forwarding. So which input is connected to which output is specified with the forwarding. So routing algorithms basically determines end-to-end path through the network. So you see here end-to-end is nothing but node-to-node mode. End-to-end in transport layer means process to process. So routing algorithms determines end-to-end path through the network, which path they have to travel, the datagrams. The forwarding table determines local forwarding at this router. So at every router, this algorithm has to forwarding takes place based on the header value of the input message. So here the third responsibility of network layer, the connection setup. So here the third important in some network architecture. These are some of the network architectures, ATM, frame relay, X.25. You might have all these terms in your data communication also. See here it is also in network layer before exchanging the information or before the data can be exchanged between devices, the two end devices and intervening routers. So there are, if we consider network, it consists of the devices as well as routers. The two end devices are host devices and intervening routers establish virtual connection. Virtual connection. The routers get involved. So the routers are also part of this virtual connection. If you look at the connection service in this network layer, so in network layer we are going to use this between two host devices, but in the case of transport layer between two processes. Two processes. So here between two host devices may also involve intervening routers in case of virtual circuit. So you will see what is meant by virtual circuit in the coming slides. But in the case of transport layer, that is between two processes. As we know this already, the transport layer between two processes, network layer between two host devices. But it may also consist of intervening routers if it is a virtual circuit. So this is about connection setup. So what is model for example services for individual datagram means it is a connectionless service, guaranteed delivery with less than 40 milliseconds delay. But in the case of example services for the flow of datagrams, in-order datagram delivery, guaranteed minimum bandwidth through flow, then restrictions on changes in internet spacing. These are the various network layer service models. Network architecture, then service model, guarantees for data delivery, in terms of bandwidth loss, order of datagrams, then timing, and finally congestion feedback. Is there any congestion involved in this method? These are the various network layer service models. Now, if we look at this second important topic in network layer is virtual circuit versus datagram models. So these virtual circuits and datagrams are somewhat related to transport layer protocols. So the virtual circuit is similar to transmission control protocol because virtual circuit is a connection oriented protocol as part of network layer. But datagram network is connectionless service that is similar to UDP in transport layer. That's the basic analogy. Virtual circuit TCP, datagram UDP. So datagram network provides network layer connectionless service, datagram connectionless service, virtual circuit connection oriented service. Analogous to TCP, UDP connection oriented / connectionless transport layer protocols. Okay, virtual circuit and datagram are analogous to TCP / UDP. TCP/UDP, these are the transport layer protocols. Here datagram, virtual circuit and datagram are comes under network layer. So here the service is post to host delivery, but in the case of transport it is process to process delivery. Here no choice, network provides one or other virtual circuit. So implementation in network core. This is a part of network layer. So virtual circuits. So virtual circuits are nothing but source to destination paths. Behaves much like a telephone circuit. So virtual circuit is nothing but source to destination path in network layer that behaves like a telephone path. It may be performance wise as well as network actions are along source to destination path. Virtual circuit, as I told you, it's a path between source and destination. So definitely there is a add set between source and destination. So that's why there is a call setup and tear down for each call. That means call closing for each call before data can flow. Each packet carries virtual circuit identifier. If it is a virtual circuit, each packet must carry virtual circuit identifier. Here, virtual circuit identifier is not the destination host address. So it is simply virtual circuit identifier number. It is not the destination host address. So every router on source to destination path maintains state for each passing connection. So if here we are discussing the network layer, so whenever we need a network layer where we need to connect different networks. So every router within the network has to maintain state for each passing connection. What is the state? Link, router resources, bandwidth and buffers may be allotted to virtual circuit. So virtual circuit is nothing but a source to destination path. So each packet carries virtual circuit number. This virtual circuit number is not a destination IP address. Okay, each router can maintain state of the each passing connection. If you look at the virtual circuit implementation, each virtual circuit consists of path from source to destination, then virtual circuit numbers, one number for each link along the path, one number for each link. There are many links in the network, right, from source to destination. So virtual circuit number is nothing but one. There is one number is allotted for every link along the path. Then entries in the forwarding tables. Entries in the forwarding tables in routers along the path. So each maintains entries in the forwarding tables in routers. Then packets belonging to virtual circuit carries virtual circuit number. As we have seen, each packet assigns a virtual circuit number. That virtual circuit number is not a destination IP address. So then, and one more important thing here is virtual circuit number can be changed on every link. The new virtual circuit number comes from the forwarding table. So its number is changed on every link. A new virtual circuit number comes from the forwarding table. If you look at the virtual circuit forwarding table, look at here there are 4 countries. Here look at this is virtual circuit number 12. This incoming, this is interface, incoming interface is 1. Incoming interface is 1. Incoming virtual circuit number is 12. Okay. Outgoing interface is 3. Here this packet is forwarded to this port number 3. So outgoing interface is 3. Then outgoing virtual circuit number is 22. So whenever the packet is passing from one link to another link, automatically the virtual circuit number is also changed. So this is nothing but forwarding table in in this router. Okay, incoming interface, incoming VC, outgoing interface, outgoing VC. Outgoing interface is nothing but whenever the router hand over that particular packet to another interface, automatically the virtual circuit of that link for that particular packet also changes. So in this, in the input interface, incoming interface is 1, the packet virtual circuit number is 12, at the output port is 3, that is outgoing interface, and the corresponding virtual circuit number is 22. Similarly, you can observe another packet is coming from interface 2 with incoming VC number 63. Here it is not mentioned in this scenario. Then that is going to output interface 1 with an outcoming VC number is 18. So these virtual circuit routers maintain connection state information. Connection state means which port is connected to which port. So that is the responsibility of network layer that we will call it as forwarding. So each router maintains a forwarding table. A forwarding table. So virtual circuits signaling protocols. These are signaling protocols are used to set up the connection, maintain and tear down the connections. Set up, maintain and tear down the virtual circuit connections. These are used in ATM, frame relay, X.25. So these are the various protocols, ATM, frame relay and X.25. But these are not used in today's internet. So there are different pages you can observe here. First one is the, as I told you many times, the client always initiates the call. Here that reason this is the client initiate call. Okay. Here number 2 is incoming call at the server, for example. Third one is accept the call. Fourth one is call connected. So initiate the call, incoming call at the other side. At the other side, it accept the call. If it accepts the call, then call is connected. The fifth one is data flow begins from sender side. Sixth is receive data. Receive data. So this is about virtual circuit signaling protocols. So then call is established between sender and receiver. Then data exchange takes place. So datagram networks, virtual circuits and datagram networks are completely different. In virtual circuit, there is a dedicated source to destination path. Source to destination path will be there, but in the case of datagram, there is no call setup. There is no dedicated path. Each datagram passes independently from sender to receiver. Here, no work layer, no call setup in datagram networks. Routers, no state about end-to-end connections. Here, routers no need to maintain these end-to-end connections. No network level concept of connection. Here, no concept of connection. Packet forwarded using destination host IP addresses. But in the case of virtual circuit, each packet assigns a virtual circuit number. Okay. But in the case of datagram networks, packets forwarded using destination host address. So you can observe here various packets are traveling independently from source to destination. So this is one path, second path, then third path. Each datagram passes independently, but because here there is no dedicated communication medium between source and destination. Send datagrams, receive datagrams, right? We look at the datagram forwarding table. Forwarding, as I told you, forwarding is nothing but which input of the router is connected to which output. So it consists of routing as well as forwarding. These are the two major responsibilities of network layer. So look at the datagram forwarding table. So this is the local forwarding table maintained at the router. So destination address and output link. So depending on the destination address of the datagram, it will direct that particular packet to the concerned output link. If you look at here in this scenario, IP destination address in arriving packet header, as I told you, header consists of source as well as destination IP address. So based on the destination IP address, the router can pass the packet to the concerned output port. So in this scenario here, we are considering four address ranges of destination IP addresses: range 1, range 2, range 3, and range 4. Based on the range, if it is range 1, it is forwarded to the output link 3, range 2, 2, range 3, 2, then range 4 is 1. So in this scenario, we are assuming there are three output links for every route. So there are 4 billion IP addresses. So rather than list individual destination addresses, we are listing the range of addresses. Range of addresses. Based on the range, we are forwarding the incoming packets to the concerned output links. So these are the destination address ranges. So we are considered there are 4 ranges. This range to this range, second one, third one, finally otherwise the remaining one. So this if it is comes under this range, link interface 0, link interface 1, link interface 1, link interface 3. So we are dividing that addresses into 4 ranges. So based on the range, we will forward the packet. So longest prefix matching. We are not looking at the rightmost LSBs. There are matches. So based on that, we will simply forward that particular packet to the concerned link interface. So when looking for forwarding table entry for given destination address, for a given destination address, we will use the longest address prefix that matches destination address. We are not going to check every bit in the destination IP address. We are going to use the longest address prefix. So destination address range. So after this, the remaining are don't care. There may be either zeros or ones. Second category, then third category, otherwise. For example, if this we don't know these values, so this is comes under 00010. This link interface is 0. Then 00011. Okay, forget about this. This is 2, interface 2. So here simply we are dividing that host destination IP addresses into 4 ranges. Based on the range, the packets are forwarded to the concerned link interfaces. So datagram or virtual circuit at Y. So internet we are going to use the datagram, not the virtual circuit. In ATM we are going to use virtual circuit. ATM nothing but asynchronous transfer mode. It's not automatic teller machine. Asynchronous transfer mode. So in ATM we are going to use virtual circuit concept. In internet we are using datagrams. So in datagrams, data exchange among computers, no stack timing required. Many link types here. So different characteristics. Then uniform service is difficult. Then smart end systems in the network can adopt, perform, control as well as error recovery in datagram approach. So it performs the error control, error detection as well as error correction. So simple inside the network, complexity at the edge device. If you look at the virtual circuit, example ATM, it evolved from the telephony, then it's like a human conversation. So connection establishment, then data transfer, then connection release. The strict timings, Then reliability requirements. So need for guaranteed service. Need for guaranteed service. For example, telcos. But complexity inside the network. A simple inside the network. Complexity at the edge. Here complexity inside the network. So inside it is complex versus network. Here simple inside the network but complexity at the edge. If you look at the what's inside a router, there are two key router functions. Routing algorithms are protocols. Second one is forwarding datagrams from incoming to outgoing links. So these are some of the routing protocols. Routing information protocol RIP, open shortest path first, that is another routing algorithm. Then border gateway protocol. Border gateway protocol. These are some of the routing algorithms or protocols. Router information protocol, open shortest path first, border gateway protocol. So these are the two key functions we have seen already. One is routing, second one is forwarding. If you look at the router, it consists of routing processor as well as one switch, high-speed switching fabric. So a router internal basically consists of a processor as well as a switch. High speed P is missing here. High speed switching fabric. Then router input ports, router output ports. So this is about router. We are going to discuss in this in router architecture. Look at here. Forwarding tables are computed, pushed to input ports at input side. Routing management control plane software. It consists of both hardware as well as software. Then forwarding data plane. Forwarding data plane hardware. If you look at the input for port functions, we are going to see input port functions as well as output port functions. If you look at the input port functions at the router, basically the input side consists of line termination, then link layer protocols, then lookup, forwarding and queuing, then switch fabric. So link termination, line termination is nothing but physical layer, bit level reception. Then data link layer protocol means data link layer. As I told you, it consists of every network layer, physical layer, link layer and network layer, right? At every router. Okay. Link line termination, hardware of the protocols. Finally, network layer protocols. So for every router. So it's decentralized switching. Decentralized switching in this router. So for a given datagram destination address, lookup output port using forwarding table. So based on the lookup table, it forwards that datagram. Lookup output port using forwarding table in the input port memory. So by looking at the lookup table, it passes that particular datagram to the concerned output. The output is same as the line speed. Queuing takes place. If datagrams arrive at the frame rate, switch back, definitely there is a possibility of queuing takes place at the router side. If the incoming data rate is more than the switch. So these are port functions, line termination, physical layer, link layer, protocols layer.